Call the meeting to order. This is regular meeting of the mayor and council, and the notice was given as follows. Notice was filed January 4th, 2024 with the record and the New York Star Ledger, both official newspaper of the borough. Notice was posted on the bulletin board at the borough hall and the borough website. Copies preserved in the clerk's office. Pledge allegiance and moment of silence led by Council Vietri.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Council President John Min,
Here.
Councilwoman Jang. Here. Councilman Kim, he is on his way right now. Councilwoman Lee.
Here.
Councilman Min, is it? Councilman Vitri.
Here.
Councilwoman Won Yoon. Here. Borough Attorney.
Here.
Borough Administrator.
Here.
Okay, first thing of the business here today, adoption of the minutes.
Adoption of the minutes, special meeting of the Mayor Council September 11, 2024. Work session of the Mayor Council September 16, 2024. Regular meeting of the Mayor Council September 23rd, 2024. Executive session of the Mayor Council September 23rd, 2024.
Okay, councils, any question to the minutes?
I wanna make a motion to adopt.
Motion, Councilwoman Jang motion, second by Councilwoman. Roll call.
Council Jang,
Yes.
Council Kim,
Yes, except the one that I missed.
Miss the,
Miss,
miss from the minute, the meeting, right?
Meeting, yeah.
oh yeah. Okay, Council Lee,
Yes.
Council Min,
Yes.
Council Vitri,
Yes.
Council Won Yoon.
Yes.
Okay, minute passed. Yes,
There was a, for the public, there was an ordinance that was on for second reading, at the, workshop meeting last week that's been removed from the agenda. There are some revisions to the ordinance that need to be made. A new ordinance will be submitted for first reading. We expect it to be submitted in November, at the November meeting.
What one was that?
is for the lab-based, paint ordinance. That's it, right?
Yes.
Alright, so, introduction of the ordinance.
Introduction of ordinance 2024-16, bond ordinance for authorization for various capital improvement.
Okay, this is just the introduction of the ordinance, so, I mean, as you know, all the council members, before the, meeting for next week, look into it and, let us know.
I have
In terms of A through H, is there any detail that what are the improvements?
There is quite a detail.
Yeah, so if I can have a copy of the details,
Sure.
really appreciate it.
So, I mean, I agree too, the ordinance, dash 16, purpose of the bond, right? A through H, it briefly tells us where it is, but it doesn't really give the details of where the actual work's gonna done, so, I think we all should, be copied into that email, getting all the details.
I have a couple of questions on this.
Yes, sir.
I asked that, do I have to wait?
Yeah,
Is that about the ordinance?
this is what the ordinance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The B, improvement to Central Boulevard, including work and all of that.
Mhm.
Why are we paying for Bergen County, that's a county road, why are we paying that much? I mean, think it's too much money and it's a county road, why, I don't understand. Somebody explain that one?
I'm not sure, Councilman, I will get that answer for you.
Okay, I have a few more too.
Okay.
C, Temple Terrace, including all the work and material. Is that the work from Route 5, rolling over from Route 5? Because they're doing work on Route 5, and is that including that in there where we have to pay when it should be through the state?
I took a look at Temple Terrace, I noticed it needs to be repaved and done over again. I don't know why,
No, I'm just like to say.
Yeah, so, yeah, including, Councilman, Beatrice's question, can you put it all together in a detail and, give us all the copies?
I have a
Yes.
more question. You have D, installation of the LED lights at various locations.
F?
Is the LED lights, are they DOT approved? Because I do know, and the other question is, what's the borough liability if they're not? Because I do know that the public service, their light, section, if a street light goes out and we call them to replace it, what they do is they replace it with a power grid, whatever, with the sun on it, and it's much brighter.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if this is DOT approved or not, but also, G, Palisades Boulevard, Netzel Boulevard. I know, or I believe, that there were, grants for this. And did we run out of money, and is it DOT approved?
This ordinance was put together by the CFO, not by myself,
Okay,
based on certain projects. I'm gonna have to get those answers from you,
okay.
Right.
and I will get them to you.
And
So-
my last one
Sure.
is H, it's improvement of Broad Avenue. I know that we had, or believe, let me put it that way, we had a $2 million grant that was put on for Broad Avenue. And I believe Stephanie voted no at that time because there was an extension that had to be go along with it. What happened to that? It dropped, did we drop it, or did we use all that money?
I don't know about that, Greg.
Okay, so, would that be your question? Okay, so,
That-
with, Councilwoman Wonyu's, question, right, details of the bond, of this ordinance, right? And on top of that, Council Beatrice's question, that goes to, B, either bond for, letter B is either county road or, us, right? And then C, the bond purpose for C, where, the detail of the Temple Terrace, right? And then F, is it DOT approved LED or not? That's the part of the question. G, improvement to Palisades Boulevard and Essa Boulevard, right? Is that also a DOT, approved, or is that the grant available for that bond, right? And H, H is for the Broad Avenue, bond, right? Is either, your question was, where's the $2 million grant that was already been, put aside for? Are we done with that? Right, so, get all that details for me, give us a copy, okay?
Okay.
Alright,
Thank you.
okay, next is the,
You have to entertain a motion.
okay, motion,
That's the first reading.
right, motion, can I get a motion to pass ordinance, 2024-16?
First reading.
Yeah, I wanna make a motion to pass the first reading of 2024-16. But So we need to
It
know
is
more
intro-
details.
Right, it's introduction,
Yeah.
so we have a second reading next week.
Yeah, this is the first read introduction,
Right,
so all
we
your
don't-
questions we answered, this is not passing the ordinance.
Exactly, that's what I
Just-
understand,
Yeah,
yes.
just introducing.
So before next month kicks in, CFO and, BA Ray will be, Mr. Ray will be bringing all the detail. So, that's the time where we're gonna make the decision of the, passing or not.
Thank you.
So can we get a motion?
Motion to introduce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to make.
Lisa.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Council Jaya,
Yes,
Council Kim,
Yeah.
Council Lee, Council Min,
Yes.
Council Victory,
Voting no until I hear the answers, what I had the questions.
Council Van Yun.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024-16 bond ordinance for authorization for various capital improvement was introduced and passed on first reading at a regular meeting of the Mayor Council held on October 28, 2024, and order published in accordance with the law. Said ordinance will be considered for the first reading at a meeting held on October 28, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers, at which time all persons interested may appear for or against the passage of the said ordinance. A copy of the ordinance will be posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Hall and will be available at the office of the Borough Club.
Okay, next will be a consent agenda. Resolution 2024-246 through 266. Any questions from the council?
yes, I have a question about, oh, and today, are we going to have a CFO here?
The CFO so advised me that he would not be able to be here tonight. If he needed anything, I could call him while your discussion, I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good, sounds
Right,
good.
okay. And I read the recommendation, so I understand what's in there. And actually, I found out that, our pool, we raised, about $25 fee this year in, early spring. And I think that went on, charging people for it, but we should have, passed that also in our ordinance. So, for the next year, I will, gather up with WA and, Karen, the pool manager, together this Wednesday. So we're going to have a meeting on it, and if there's anything we really need to correct and follow up, we will do it. So, that I acknowledged, yes. And also, I asked Karen about the day-to-day report, how much, income she made at the window of the pool entrance. And, she sent me some report, so I'll gather that up too and, figure out, I wanna know further details, like, how much that went into our revenue bank account. And, I would really like to update and enhance the process of, making daily report from the pool for next summer. So we're going to have a meeting on that as well. And also, I have another, question about, let's see. Are we still having that? Yes, 265, it says requesting permission for the, dedication, oh no, not that one. Let's check. It was about 125th. Is it no longer here?
Councilman, do you want us to come back?
Yes,
Okay,
if
Councilman.
anybody else.
Yeah, I just have a question about procedure in 252. When we hire somebody from outside for the performance,
Right.
what's the procedure? Do we have a contract or do we get something?
Okay, this is 252, right?
Right,
Yeah.
so
That was my question too.
Oh,
there,
okay, okay.
without getting into too much detail, because it's potential litigation,
Yeah.
There should
Do
be
they
a
show the
contract,
interest
there,
of,
there should be contracts with all vendors,
yeah,
yes.
so we are protected by the contract, right? Whatever
Yeah,
say in
the
the
contract
contract.
establishes the mutual obligations of both parties.
And do
Payment
they show the
obligation
interest
her,
of suing us too?
What's that?
Do they show the other party show the interest to suing us for that particular issue?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I can discuss it with you,
more detail?
more detail later, but yeah, there were,
So there was a contract between them and us, so.
well, they're technically yes, but not in writing and signed. No,
Oh, not in a written format,
no, not in that case.
it's a verbal agreements?
Yes, there were, and there was documentation to establish that there was an agreement to pay a certain amount to these people.
And how about the, like, liability insurance or all those things? How do we, if anything happened there in the time?
Yeah, that's why I said there should have been a contract.
There should have been a
The
contract.
individual employee of the borough who's managing it, you know, I have not had a chance to speak to that individual, so I don't know why there wasn't a contract agreed to, but we were, you know, we were left with that situation, so we had to sort of clean it up. But in terms of liability insurance, there should be a provision in any contract where someone's performing services for the borough.
I'm not
They
worried
have-
about our contract, but I'm worried about our contract for this particular case.
Yeah, there wasn't
Wasn't
one,
a-
so there
so
was
we
no
might be
requirement
bounded
of
by-
insurance, yeah, there were a number of issues
Oh,
that, you know.
Okay, if I may, present my own opinion about this matter, I completely believe that the whole event, was, poorly planned and that carried out with the, like, not, very much consistent procedure. And because as a rec committee, liaison person, recreation committee, the Dave, Terranova, he got this whole matter, in 3 weeks advance. And the whole recreation team worked so much. I'm sure that they have never done, you know, more work for anything in town while they were serving for the whole time. So I really appreciate it, but, even 1,400 settlement for what? What was the original plan? And, what was the promise to the performers? And how many performers are asking for, you know, the money, how much? It's so, I checked through the whole, the resolution matter, it doesn't make any sense. So to me, I really like to ask someone who had this in charge, or was responsible from the beginning, planning and everything carried out, must give us the report. You know, I, noticed that merchants, the business people made a donation to the town, and I don't know how much that was collected and, which account that went in. And also, we spend
Excuse me,
so much money,
Councilwoman,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but a lot of the things you're saying, really, we should be, if you'd like to make a motion to discuss this in executive session, I'd be more than glad to go through all the details with you, but like I said, it does have to do with potential
But do you
litigation.
have the
So,
whole,
I can
answers?
explain everything to you, yes.
I see, so you have, you know the accounts where it went into and how much we
Oh,
got
that
the money
detail?
in and how much out and why this matter we have to settle.
It really has nothing to do with that, but I'll explain this entire matter to you and tell you everything that I know, and hopefully that'll satisfy you. So,
Yeah,
we can do executive session, I think after we get through the resolutions, we can hold this one in abeyance if you'd like, and then come back and vote on it after executive session, if you wanna make a motion to go to
yeah, I wanna make
executive
a
session.
motion to hold on to it until we get full details that we can, you know, pass this resolution. That's my opinion, yeah,
So-
because right now, I cannot really know, you know, what came in, what came out, what went out, and how the whole thing happened.
I also have a couple of questions on that too.
councils, do you guys wanna, anyone like to make a motion to go into the executive session after the words? And then,
Mhm.
you know, after the discussion, we'll come back out, vote on this matter.
Right, so,
Everybody agrees?
yes,
Okay, can I get a motion?
I wanna make a motion to take this matter out and then have a conversation.
Second?
Second. Mike.
A second.
And so that would be resolution 252 is now gonna be excluded from a vote on.
Mike?
it.
But we still need a roll call though.
I'm just asking about the motion that was made, would be for 252.
To take it, yeah, take out.
Alright, roll call, please.
Council Jen,
Yes.
Council Kim,
Yes.
Council Lee,
Yes.
Council Min,
Yes.
Council Victory,
Yes,
Council Wanya.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, any other resolution like to discuss?
Yeah,
Um,
also,
yes.
can somebody explain what already about 265? This is very new to
Right.
15 years of my career that I never saw one like this. So can somebody explain what already about this? What is the Korean board donation? Why do we need a right
So,
for that?
when, if I can explain you briefly on this, resolution, right? We are actually, there's a lot of visitors coming from, overseas, right? For example, to South Korea, right? So whenever we host them, right? I'm sure, most of the elected officials here, you know, including myself and the mayor, spending their own money to actually entertain them, hosting them. So this, separate resolution is for the, dedicated, trust fund or the fund line item that we receive, some sort of a donation from those, people who's actually visiting us, right? And we're gonna use that money to, host them.
shouldn't that be put into the budget before all of this?
We're not spending, we're not trying to bring money out from the budget. It's the money that we're trying to get donated by those people, and we're gonna use those money to host them, you know.
I understand what you're saying, yeah. So without using taxpayers' money.
Right,
Let's use the money from their donation if they wanna do something with our.
right.
That's correct, and Councilman, that does not have to go into the budget, the dedication by right.
Okay, then,
Because I don't think it's.
where would be the account where the money will go into?
We're gonna create a separate, fund line item.
Uh-huh.
So,
And a separate bank account just for that money.
So only for the donation from the
From the
visitors, right?
yes.
But I think that's fairly good idea.
Yeah.
I don't even see that here.
265.
I don't have it.
Second page, resolution, second page.
Yeah, I see it over here.
So if there is no donation, there is no donation.
There's no paperwork for it? There's no paperwork?
265.
It's the second resolution from the bottom, the last.
Okay.
Okay, all right, any other resolution we'd like to pull out or talk about?
Yeah, I think you, write a letter to us that some complaint about,
Right,
that
well, I was
hasn't been
gonna-
resolved or?
No, so, for myself, right, resolution 263, is hiring full-time, DPW employee. There is various reasons that we have to look into. Did you get an answer, Council King, from the department?
No, not actually. Actually,
Council
Ms.
Chang?
Zhang was,
No,
something to
actually,
the,
I asked
response, so I
around.
didn't actually get into that.
Yeah, I asked around, but nobody was acknowledged anything, so, you know, I'm not sure whether what really happened. I
I
asked.
mean, acknowledge of the complaint.
Right,
Yeah, so
I
nobody
didn't
got
get the
complaint.
details at all, so,
Okay, so no complaint, right?
no.
Okay, all right, so, excluding that matter, I have also, the problem of, from, how do I, there's a couple other reasons, that questioning regards to the number of employee, the full-time employee from DPW and part-time. Did you, by chance, get an answer? How many full-time, how many part-time?
Right now, last week, Antoinette, paid the salary for, 13 in total from DPW.
13 full-time,
That's
or
what she-
13 altogether?
That's what she said. And she told me that, there are part-timers and full-timers, but still, because of the short of hands, part-timers also work very many hours. So 13 people are all utilizing fully. And, I asked her how many did we have, how many employees we had in our history. And then the number hasn't really gone up at all. That means I kind of thought like, our, population grew so much over time. To me, we need extra hand. That's what we have to go through. So I was thinking that, since the 263, Mr. Kim is going through getting a CDL right now. And for CDL, license holders, why do we need that many? Right now, there are 4 people in DPW holding CDL license. And, our oldest employee, Joey, who was working for 45 years, he's driving the sewer truck. And more, the water problems that we got with the sewer, he really needs extra hands for emergency cases, so very short of hands. And, Charlie Chung, he's a sweeper, is operating the sweeper right now. I also have a question about what is delaying to get our sweeper, but, our clerk, Sophia Jen said it's been placed on order, so I'm sure that, they're working on, probably, they said 6 months it must take, so if that was gone in about like 2 months or whatever, we're gonna have it in time for about 6 month period. But current sweeper keeps on breaking down, so it was 3,500 to fix, or like 4,800 to fix, but last month, it broke down again, and then, the cost was $10,000 to fix it. So I really hope that we're gonna get the new sweeper as fast as we can. And also, Glenn has a CDL license, and he's working for the senior bus, and when they have, emergency cases, he can operate whichever, vehicles for DPW, but still, and Bobby is helping everyone out, so if we can have, couple more people who has the CDL license, even though new sweeper will not require the operator to have a CDL. So anybody with the driver's license, the regular one, will operate it, so we will be okay, but until that time anyway, DPW workers will go crazy, doing many work. So, I was going to really take this away, and also, for the 264, at least like part-timers, I was going to ask, you to understand if we, have a current part-timer to become a full-timer. And for these 2 part-time DPW laborers, for the advertisement, if we can hold on to it, so just pass 1 and take the, 264 out. So that's my recommendation.
Okay,
260, if I may, just, Councilman, 264 is just to advertise for it, it's not to hire them. This will give us the advertisement to put in the paper so that people can apply. It doesn't mean that we're hiring them. It's only saying we're
Right,
gonna
right, right.
advertise for them to apply We don't have to accept any of them.
Yeah, but I was thinking like if we give a time period up until like, you know, advertising goes for like 1 month or whatever, then people will apply and we cannot really let them wait too long, so. But yeah, as BA said, it's just for the, approving, for putting the advertising, so in that case, I have no conflict.
Okay, so,
In reference to the sweeper,
mhm.
I remember last year, this council was brought up to buy a new sweeper. And there was questions from people on the council saying that the sweeper is capable of continuing. It was explained at the meeting that, one, it's breaking down because it's old, and you're not gonna be able to get parts. And that's exactly what happened. And it also takes 6 months, maybe a year, to get a sweeper. That was in there. But now, we're going and saying, well, we need the sweeper. We just can't produce the sweeper just like the snap of your fingers. We should have done it last year, and we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. It's like police cars. You have to order police cars, and the way everything is now, everything is 6 months to a year. If you get it in 6 months, you're doing great. But, just saying, we should have done this before. This is just another headache that we have.
I agree. Going back to the CDO, my last question to CDO is, if I can recall correctly from back in July, either those 2 full-time employees that was being hired back then, and including the part-time of this person, right? Are they been offered to?
It's been offered,
Mhm.
but they didn't, request for the fee to be reimbursed yet, already. So,
Okay.
I'm sure Mr. Kim is doing on his own payment right now. Yeah, he already started the program, so, we can probably tell him that it will be covered.
Okay, so, I mean, yes.
Since we are planning to put the advertisement for the part-timer, I mean, the reason why, like any other town, we always encourage having more part-timer than full-timer due to all the insurance and benefits and all those things. Since we are going to put the part-time on ad, why don't we wait until how many people we are getting, how many interested we will have for the part-timer first. If you have a lot of part-timer, there is no reason to have a full-timer and give out the benefits and all other things. So, do you project how many days they will get some kind of result from the part-timer advertisements?
It is very hard to say. I know that the person that's being asked in the resolution to become a full-time person is currently working in the DPW as a part-time person. And I know that the DPW supervisor has said that he really needs another full-time person now, and then to get him replaced.
So you cannot have two part-timers to carry the full-timers?
He said he needs the person now because we're getting very close to, it's in the middle of leaf production season, and he really needs them, he said, right now.
Okay, the reason why
Could you tell us how long this part-timer is working at the DPW?
This was one of the 3 part-timers that was hired, several months ago, I'm not sure when.
No.
3 months?
It was since I've been here.
No, back in July, we hired 1 part-timer and 2 full-timer, right? This person was hired in July, so it's been a couple months. So the reason why I brought this issue up is that I've been hearing that, size of our town, number of residents that we have. Right now, based on what the committee is saying is we have 13 full-timer and we have a couple part-timer there, right? So with that size, compared to other town, we shouldn't be having any problem, basically, right? But then, we're looking to hire more full-time, which gives the, benefit and all that, right? So, I mean, we really gotta think into this, look into this, if we really need, full-time to make things, run. So, I mean, it's just that, my, opinion, whether, if we're gonna hire, or not. So, I just want to bring that up. So, if you guys wanna,
I agree with Jason, to keep part-timers, have part-time. You said we have 13 full-timers?
13 full-timers, and.
No, actually, we have 9 full-timers, 9 full-timers.
I don't know, what is it, 9 or 13? The big difference
No,
between 9 and
the
13.
payment, the salary paid
No,
for.
you either
almost
full-time
a
or you
full-time.
part-time.
Yeah, the Antoinette said, last week, she paid 13 people.
13 full-timers.
30
No, no.
No, not all of them are
I think
full-timers.
it's 13.
I mean, I could just name it, but I just don't wanna name it, right? But if I just go through each person, right, it comes down to 12 to 13 full-timer.
Well, first of all, before we do anything, we better find out if we have 13 or 9.
Right, that's,
You know, I
The
mean,
9
this is
full-timer
crazy.
and 3 part-timer. 9 full-timers and 3 part-timers, and 3 part-timers worked many hours, so it was almost the same level getting paid as a full-timer. So, from my knowledge and understanding,
makes
that,
12. Nine.
My God,
Nine and
maybe we
three.
should wait to see how many people we can do it.
maybe
Count it on
the
hands
13
and feet.
means Antoinette herself. She's not
Oh.
a worker
She didn't
outside.
count herself, okay.
So, I asked her because I wanted to know how many people are currently working, how many people were used to work. So if we're short of hands, and I'm sure once they had more than 15 people
We're
working.
talking now though, we don't have to worry about what do we have now, that's what we're trying to get to. We
Right,
don't.
so right now, Antoinette told me today, she paid 13 people. And among them, 3 people were part-timers.
I believe, Councilman, I didn't ask you to correct it, but I believe counting the superintendent, there's 9 full-time people, which also does include Antoinette as full-time people, and there are 3 part-timers. So it's 3 part-timers, and then 9, the rest are all full-timers, including the superintendent and Antoinette.
you know what, I could just go off the name, right? And I still can count how many total full-time and part-time. Now, we don't exactly know how many full-time. Without knowing those number, how could we use taxpayers' money to hire?
I agree with you 1000%.
Can I make a motion to pull this one out to get a further, information? Yeah, I'd like to table this.
Table.
Yes.
So November?
I also have another question. Not the records staff, but the records of part-time.
163.
Can I get a motion to table? Motion to
Make a
table,
motion.
second,
Second.
roll call?
This is for 264, right?
264.
263.
263 for the hire?
Yeah, and then 264.
264.
So 264 part-time advertising.
Are we just gonna, okay, we're just gonna
I already
advertise
did
for
the
now.
part-time.
So table for the 2024 is 263. And then first made by the
Council Beatrice,
Council Beatrice, second made by Kim, and then can I have a roll call?
roll call.
And the Council Jen,
Yes.
Council Kim,
Yes.
Council Lee,
Yes.
Council Min,
Yes,
Council Beatrice,
Yes.
Council Van Yu.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2024 is 263, hiring of a full-time DPW employee, the table did.
okay, Council Beatrice, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question, and this is we're talking about DPW. I have a question in reference to the police traffic officers. How many full-time traffic officers do we have now? Because I see there's a resignation in here. And how many part-time traffic officers do
Okay,
we have?
so, I could give you that answer, but I know Captain is here,
Fine, I will
Can
do
you-
it.
We have no full-time traffic officers, and we have 2 full-time specials. So we have Jason, Shin, and Nelson are full-time specials, and no full-time traffic,
No part-time traffic?
only part-time
only
traffic.
part-time,
How many?
5.
5, correct.
Okay, because the reason why I'm bringing this up is the traffic officers bring money into the borough. They're out there with, parking on the streets overnight, everything with the ordinance, with the parking over on Broad Avenue, alternate side. So, whatever you pay our traffic officers is gonna help the town 10 spend, because whatever you pay them, they're gonna triple their pay, but triple what the town is gonna get so, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer that we should look, I mean, at least a full-time person, 2 full-time persons, and maybe more, because I drive around and I see on Broad Avenue, I very rarely see the traffic officers on Broad Avenue, because they're probably on the side streets. So, I mean, that, to me, that's a little more important, because they're bringing money into the town. DPW is important, don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but they're helping the town a lot, but the traffic officers bring money.
I agree. Thank you. Any other resolution? Okay, can I get a motion to accept, consent agenda?
Make a motion.
Resolution 2024-246, 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, and 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 259, 260, 261, 262, 264, 265, 266.
Okay. Councilors, everybody agree?
Yeah.
Can I get a,
I made the motion, somebody else.
Council gave the motion?
I'll make a motion.
I made the motion.
Council Kim made the motion.
Second.
Second?
Council Yan,
Yes?
Council Kim,
Yeah.
Council Lee,
Yes.
Council Min,
Yes.
Council Retreat,
Yeah.
Council Won Yoon.
Yes.
Okay, all right, council report, yeah, let's do the council report first, and then, okay, we'll start from, Council Lee,
I don't have any reports.
thank you. Councilwoman Jang?
Yes, the recreation department, hold for the trunk or treat, last Saturday evening at the Lindbergh parking lot. And, many kids and family members came. We had a very good time. So, unfortunately, not many council, people could come and, see the kids, but, you know, they prepared very well, and, for the first time, the Korean Chamber of Commerce had a table set, and, they participated, and, hopefully next year, we're going to have, I'm going to prepare my car for the first time, so I'll be participating next year, so hopefully we're gonna have many cars coming for the trunk or treat. That's it, thank
Council
you.
Kim?
Yeah, the flu season is coming from actually January and February. And it's time to have a vaccine because it takes about 3 months to get actually activated. So everybody try to get the vaccine for the flu as well as be careful with the COVID. Thank you.
Council Yuchi?
No.
Thank you. Council Oni?
We, the 125th, the Historical Book Committee, working very hard to develop all these contents. We're almost there, and we are still targeting to publish this book sometime in December. And the book committee is actually, working very hard. Like we have a meeting every Tuesday here, or sometimes Zoom. And right now we actually have about 90% contents ready, and 10% we're still trying to get it. Hope that we can actually completely collect all the contents by sometime in next 2 weeks. So in December, we'll hope that we can actually make a big announcement on how to order that book for everyone.
Thank you. And from myself, I'm getting a lot of calls saying that there's a lot of stealing from the merchants when they're pretty busy during the weekends or any lunchtime, dinner time. This personnel individual comes into the store, grab what they see, either purse, wallets, any of those kind of personal stuff. So I just want to make that note saying, be aware and let this people know, the residents and the merchants, please. I don't know if Captain Rotondo has that part of in it on his report, but I just want to make that aware. Anything from BA?
The fire and smoke alarm system has been installed and is now up and functioning. The sprinkler has been put in down in the basement, and it should be finished. It's been tested already. They should be finished with it within this week. And the egress project is moving along very nicely.
Thank you, thank you. Captain Rotondo? OIC reports?
Sure. You want to do the awards now too, or?
Sure.
All right, I'll be giving the report today as our police director is in the hospital. I know we all feel the same way, speedy recovery for him. So, just to get some notes here, we've enhanced patrol taking place during heavy pedestrian traffic times, as well as the various locations as well that we brought up in the last meeting. So we call our quality of life details. So we actually bring in an extra officer to do those things, which is cut down on our overtime, and it's helped out, supplying extra manpower to our officers already on the road, which has been great. We've also been applying for a grant for the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. It was from Safer Streets. So that'll be rolling out within the next, I believe next month or so. But there'll be announcements about that and everything. The lieutenant and I have gotten together over the past month. We've kind of been neglecting giving awards to our officers. I know obviously last month that we were able to give that CPR award, which was great. I have 10 awards here. Obviously the officers aren't going to be here because some of these go back to 2015. I'm just going to read off a couple of short blurbs on them.
Thank you.
And the officers will be given their awards in private with us.
Thank you.
Okay. So the first one is from it's a life-saving award being awarded to Detective Christopher Shalengo. On February 26, 2015, Detective Chris Shalengo conducted the initial search in a house fire and saved the victim found in his bedroom. At the time, Patrolman Shalengo was awarded with the Life-Saving Award for his prompt and alert action and willful disregard for personal safety to save a resident's life. The second one is an Exceptional Duty Award to Detective Frank DeSico. On July 21st, 2019, Detective Frank DeSico performed an exceptional detective duties, which was, in my opinion, exhaustive, investigating an incident that led to the detention of 2 violent offenders. Detective DeSico's work ultimately led to the successful conviction of both men. He is awarded the Exceptional Duty Award for an intelligent and valuable police service or act material contributing to a valuable police accomplishment. The third one is CPR Save. This one goes to Sergeant Christopher Beck, Detective Frank DeSico, Patrolman Christopher Shalingo, Patrolman Stephen Kim, and Patrolman Nicholas Terranova. On October 29, 2021, Sergeant Chris Beck, Detective DeSico, Detective Shalingo, Patrolman Stephen Kim, and Patrolman Terranova performed CPR on a resident. After 6 rounds of chest compressions, the officers were able to save the resident's life. They are awarded the CPR Save for their prompt, alert, and professional actions that saved the resident's life. This was a unit citation and a meritorious award. This goes to Detective Shalingo, Stephen Kim, and Patrolman Matt Carley. On November 13, 2021, Detective Christopher Shalingo, Patrolman Stephen Kim, Patrolman Matt Carley saved the life of a 15-year-old suicidal boy who attempted to jump off a 3rd floor fire escape. For the officers' heroic actions and willful disregard for their safety, Patrolman Carley is awarded the Meritorious Award, and Detective Chris Shalingo and Patrolman Kim are awarded the Unit Citation Award. Number 5, Life Saving Award. Myself, Lieutenant George Beck, Patrolman Brian Kunz, and Patrolman William Duarte. On November 28, 2021, Captain Rotundo, Lieutenant Beck, Patrolman Kunz, and Patrolman Duarte saved a resident's life in a house fire. The officers are awarded for their disregard of their personal safety and prompt and alert action that resulted in the saving of the borough resident's life. Number 6, CPR Saver Award. Lieutenant George Beck, Patrolman Theodore Christolius, Patrolman James Park, Patrolman Matt Carley, and Patrolman Robert Lowerkite. On May 6, 2021, Lieutenant George Beck, Patrolman Christolius, Patrolman Park, Patrolman Carley, and Patrolman Lowerkite successfully performed CPR on a borough resident. Through multiple rounds of CPR, the officers saved the life of a resident. They are awarded a CPR save and for their prompt, alert, and professional action that saved the resident's life. We have a Life Saving Award. Detective Michael Lee, Patrolman Natalia Kim, and Patrolman Kristen Lee. Patrol Officer Kristen Lee. On March 30th, 2022, Detective Michael Lee, Patrol Officer Natalia Kim, and Patrol Officer Kristen Lee saved the life of a 21-year-old resident who had committed suicide by hanging himself. The officers cut the young man down and began CPR, which resulted in the saving of the resident. The officers are awarded the Life Saving Award for their prompt, alert, and professional actions that saved the life of a resident. Number 8, Exceptional Duty Award, Patrolman Michael Bruno. On May 22nd, 2022, Patrolman Michael Bruno coached and negotiated with the suicidal party to refrain him from killing himself and ultimately to accept the emergency medical help. If not for Patrolman Bruno's professional and calm demeanor, the incident could have resulted in a loss of life. Patrolman Bruno was awarded the Exceptional Duty Award for his intelligent and valuable police service, demonstrating extraordinary faithfulness and perseverance to the materially contributed to valuable police accomplishment. Number 9, Unit Citation Award. Detective Michael Lee, Patrolman Stephen Kim, Patrolman Brian Kunz, and Patrolman Nicholas Terranova. On November 3rd, 2023, Detective Michael Lee, Patrolman Stephen Kim, Patrolman Brian Kunz, and Patrolman Nicholas Terranova saved the life of a robbery victim who was stabbed in the leg and bleeding profusely. The officers applied a tourniquet and saved the resident's life. They are awarded with they are awarded the Unit Citation Award for distinguishing themselves to effectuate the protection of life and the property through expert, professional, and prompt action. This is the last one. Unit Citation Award, Lieutenant George Beck, Patrolman Michael Bruno, Patrolman Michael McDermott, and Patrolman James Chang. On February 11th, 2024, Lieutenant George Beck, Patrolman Michael Bruno, Patrolman Michael McDermott, and Patrolman James Chang responded to a disorderly person who was violent and in a warlike rage. In a tight apartment hallway, the actor brandished a large knife directly at Patrolman Bruno, therefore placing the officers in fear of imminent danger or death. The officers immediately overcame such danger with a taser deployment and arrest. The incident marks the first and only taser deployment in the Borough of Palisades Park. The officers are awarded with the Unit Citation Award for a team effort under combat conditions who, in support of departmental operations and distinguished themselves to effectuate the protection of life and property. They also were included in the 200 Club, which was a dinner that they had last month. I'm extremely proud of all these officers. I'm upset that we haven't brought these to the attention of the public and to the mayor and council earlier. It's good stuff, you know, these guys work every day really hard. As always, obviously, make sure you're locking your car doors. You know, we haven't had a rash of burglars on that case, but, you know, that's always a thing. You know, and there are other things that are happening in town that we've been getting better at doing. Our traffic safety, like, for example, we've established a new traffic safety unit in our borough, in our police department. They've already gotten out there and started to, you know, look at things that might need some revision. It's not that we've neglected these issues, it's just that there's been other issues prior to these things, but now we got some new young blood in there that we're gonna be sending to some training and stuff. That's gonna be good for our us as a department and you guys as residents. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anything from Counselor? No? Yes.
I just wanna have a question to our council. Is there any lawsuits coming up? More rules coming up these days or not? Because I always found out very last minute, so
You're finding out last minute about what?
somebody suing the town and somebody suing the FIDO claim against the town and like that. Did we have a affordable housing,
Well, we can't really talk about that now.
Can we
Yeah,
talk
because
about that in
it's
private?
litigation. The motion that was made, if somebody wants to make another motion to go to executive session to talk about more than resolution 252, you can make that motion now.
I make a motion that we go council to close and speak about the, all the lawsuits that we've had, whatever you know about.
and also about the affordable housing?
Yes.
Okay.
So motion to,
While we are already in the executive session, maybe we can talk about that.
there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, you can go in executive
Well,
session
okay,
after,
motion-
after the public, I would recommend. after
So,
the public.
for now, motion made by, Councilman Vietri and second by Council Kim, right?
I didn't find out.
Oh.
Okay.
Roll call?
Council Jen,
What is the motion?
Okay, we're into closed session so that the lawyer can explain about some of these lawsuits and about the affordable housing lawsuit that just went on today.
We wanna know.
Well, no, we're councilmen, we'd like to know what's going on with the town, don't you?
I mean, last time, we had some similar session, right?
Yeah, but that's,
But nothing to, there is no progress, so these things doesn't make
so what
progress that fast.
so what do we do?
That's
Because
not
there's
good.
a lot of yelling, screaming, and then we go in and certain people scream and holler and we don't hear. We're
Okay.
council people.
So
We're
motion and
entitled
second
to hear
made.
this.
All right, roll call?
Council Jen,
No, I don't think we have anything to talk about it yet, you know, it's,
Council Kim,
Yes.
Council Lee,
No.
Council Min,
No.
Council Vietri,
No.
Yes.
Ramil,
No.
I guess we can, but. And
So,
after-
right, so,
after the-
right.
We'll talk about that.
Could I get a motion to, open to the public?
I want to make a
Participation?
motion.
Motion
to open
by
the public.
Councilman Jang, second,
You don't care.
I'm gonna say,
You don't wanna hear that.
second to, participate in the, public portion,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Alright,
All right, 3 minutes, name and address. Yes, sir.
More than 3 minutes worth, but I'm gonna try. You talked about improving some roads.
Name and address.
I'm Ernest Spearling, 329 East Columbia.
Go ahead.
Fifth Street, when you come down Route 5 and you make a right on Fifth Street, that's in horrible shape, half of it. Why only half, I don't know. And every house on that block is called it new, so that should be looked at. The CDL driver's license, is it an A or a B?
B.
Okay, thank you. The traffic has been a little bit better by the high school. I live by the high school, and it's a horror just about every day, probably about a half hour or an hour, something like that. Of course, the parking of people that wait for students, an hour and a half before that, and they're running their cars. And it's not cold out yet. So, I don't know, that's an issue, but they put traffic cones out there on the corner. I think that really helps a lot. Now 2 sets of cars can go by, not just one. And I took pictures where people actually parked on top of the crossing lines. Yet the police never gave any tickets. So I'm a little nervous on that. Hopefully that should correct that. The people these duplexes mostly have 2-car garages, each one. And the mayor brought this up a couple of weeks ago of people use their garages for a warehouse. We should tax those people extra money for using that as a warehouse for their private business or for their businesses. I think that should be something that should be discussed. That's a free ride that somebody's getting, and we all have to pay for the rest of all those taxes. So that's I think that's something to look into. Okay, that's about it.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Loretta Martini, 435 East Brinkout Avenue, Palisades Park. First, thanks for the microphones, they still work terrible. You can't hear a thing. And 3 years I'm coming here and they didn't fix them yet. Either they're all too far away, but nobody could hear anything. Oh yeah, you do that, what time?
I'll put them up a little bit higher
Good.
this time.
Next thing I wanna know, the house up on Merton Boulevard that they're building, they put a fence right on Bergen Boulevard and took up a whole lane. So there's two lanes there, but one is for the building. I'm asking 100 places, where are the permits for these, for the use of Bergen Boulevard and for Central Boulevard? Last week, the trucks that are coming to ShopRite hit the pole and knocked the pole down. Does anybody go look up there? It's like a cyclone. No answer? Does anybody, it's about 6 months I'm telling all these things, but nobody seems to go look at anything.
I look at,
What?
I looked at.
Did you see where the trucks, they can't make a turn there, those tractor trailers. How the hell do you put a building where it's a main highway that you can't see? I mean, just if you take a look up there, you'll say, who the hell did this? Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Susan, 267 Central Boulevard. I don't know if I can talk as a board member here, but I just see the resolution 2024-248, acceptance of court direction plan for the year of 2023 as presented by Chief Finance Officer. So I will actually email this, some of you are related to the school board, that you have received my email, what our school business administrator email regarding the underpaid tax money in 2021 to 2022. And that was already, again, sent to the CFO last year, 2023, January as well, and also this year as well that I had to present again. So I haven't still gotten any response from CFO. So when you do this, discuss the corrective action, please have him to answer to the school board. That's my, and then again, for the 125th anniversary historical committee, Ms. Yuba, I want to thank you very much for the working hard. I wasn't just in the committee, but just been busy within my other works and I didn't contribute too much. But I just want to thank to all the committee members, Lieutenants George Beck and Yvonne Wanyun and other committee members are working very hard. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Okay, can I get a motion to, enter, close the public meeting and, the public participation and bring it back to our session, regular session?
I'll make a motion to
Second.
close.
I'll second it.
Second,
Jason.
yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, can I get a motion to enter into executive session, regards to the, resolution line number 2024-252? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Second? Roll call? All in favor? Yeah, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay, if you wanna wait and see, if, are we ready? We could, right?
You closed it already.
Yeah, but, if you see the, after, what happens with the specific resolution, then welcome to wait, but, we'll try to make it, fast as we could to discuss this matter, okay?